Hey, hey, hey. Let me know if you can hear my voice. Let me know if you can hear me. Blue hearts in the chat if you can hear me. Blue hearts in the chat if you can hear my voice. Mm-mm-mm. All right, I see some blue hearts. I see some blue hearts. I see some blue hearts. Thank y'all. Come on up in here. Let's get in here. Let's get in here. I changed my whole story tonight to bring you guys this amazing news. And listen, I wasn't even on social media at the time it came in. So thanks to those, I think it's like 3 or 4 y'all, maybe even 5 or 6 that sent me this wonderful information, y'all. And y'all just don't know, like, man, my heart is just so happy right now. I was literally praying for this. I was like, you know what? Why should this young fella have to pay for defense when we got all these damn good ass attorneys out there that see this young fella got railroad, right? I said, they see it. If we see it, I know they see it, right? I said, how in the world would they just sit there and allow him to just sit in that cell for the amount of time that they gave him and do nothing, y'all? I was praying for this and boom, it happened. Because, at first I was like, oh, okay, they said the celebrities are stepping up. Then we found out that was all AI bullshit, right? We found out that Cardi B wasn't coming through because, they lied on her. 50 Cent, they lied on her. And then I was like, okay, Boosie, they said Boosie gonna do 500K. I was like, ooh, if he do 500,000, Carmelo gonna have a hell of a team. Then come to find out that wasn't true. And I was just like, oh my God. Listen, it's a lot of stuff out here on the internet that you literally have to just ignore or just at least double check. At least double check, triple check, quadruple check, because there's a lot of information that is just not true. Okay. So, y'all, we're going to get into it. I'm going to read the one that Ben Crump posted. I know a lot of people are posting them, but baby, I just can't be trusting just any old body. I know TMZ said something about it, and also Ben Crump posted. I do not believe that Ben Crump will post this information if it is not true. So y'all already know. I looked up the information when it came in, and y'all know I already put it in the Chat GPT, and I asked Chat GPT to break it down and tell me exactly what it means. Okay. So we're going to talk about exactly what it means because, we don't want to we don't really want our, to get our hopes up high and, things don't pan out the way we think they are. So I'm just going to tell you exactly what it means. Okay. All right, so hold on one second. First of all, I'm going to put up the news release that Karmelo Anthony has a new legal team that's working behind him. All right, so let's just put that information up right quick. Baby, it is a team, y'all. It ain't just one lawyer. And you know what? I'm just glad they doing this because I also felt like, damn, they appointed somebody already. And the person that they appointed may be working with the state as well, right? Even though he was a Hispanic guy, I was like, he could very well be working with the state. I just don't trust these jokers at all. So I'm just glad that this team right here, and they are a team of a lot of different people, and we're going to break that down. So let me just move this out the way. Please hit this thumbs up and share this live, you guys. Share this live. I know there's a lot of people that's speaking about this case, and I'm glad that they are speaking about it. Some speaking about it in a negative way, and some speaking about it in a positive way. We're going to speak about it in a positive way over here because I really do truly in my hearts of hearts believe this young fella got railroad. He got railroad. It's several of us in here that are not even attorneys, and we've said that we would have defended him better than his legal team did, right? And I mean that it's so much stuff coming out now that the lawyers, the defense lawyers had privy to and didn't even utilize it. So in my opinion, I believe that legal team that Carmelo had wanted to see him go down because it's just almost like they didn't do shit. They didn't do shit. So anyway, the legal team is doing this pro bono, you guys. I'm pretty sure if y'all listened to me before, y'all know pro bono means what? No fees involved. Pro bono meaning they're doing this for free. They don't call it pro bono. They call it, I'm going to tell you what they call it in a minute, but it's pro bono, meaning that they're not charging Karmelo Anthony nor his family for a thing. Okay. So it's Stand with Karmelo Coalition. All right. Stand with Karmelo Coalition. It says for immediate release. This was released today. New legal team files substitute of counsel to pursue appeal for Karmelo Anthony. Substitute of counsel meaning move over bacon. Here comes sizzling. Let me tell you exactly what they say. It says substitute meaning that they are changing lawyers. So they have to file for that because they can't just go pick up a case before the other lawyer drops the case. So they have to file in the courts for change of lawyer. And as long as the attorney, which he should be because he's doing it for the state, right? So as long as the attorney that's on the case now says, I agree for you guys to take over this matter, then it's good, okay? So they filed for a substitute of counsel. Move over bacon. Here comes sizzling is what they're saying, okay? So basically it says on Monday, June 22nd of 2026, that is today, you guys, in Frisco, Texas, a team of leading appellates, civil rights attorneys, and criminal defense attorneys. Listen, did y'all hear what I said? Leading appellate attorneys, meaning that they only deal with appeals. Now, this does not mean that he is about to have a whole new case right now. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about going up to try to go to appeal to try to either get the sentence overturned or the conviction, either the conviction overturned or the sentence overturned, right? And if they're able to get it overturned, then there will be a new trial. But right now, this is not what they're doing. This is them trying to go up to the appellate court. So you got a team of leading appellates. Then you got the civil rights attorneys sticking their nose all up in the beeswax. That's what I'm loving. And then you got criminal defense attorneys. They announced this today that they have taken on this case of Karmelo Anthony, who was recently sentenced to 35 years following his murder conviction in the death of Austin Metcalf. The team serving pro bono will review the trial records and pursue all available avenues of an appeal. Okay. Leading the efforts are Russell Wilson, Law Office of Russell Wilson II, Gary Beslow, the Beslow Law Firm, PLLC, and presidents of the Texas NAACP. And then following behind that is Michael L. Ware. He is the law office of Michael Ware. And then Brooke Cluss, I think that's how you say it, a Cluse, is Ben Crump Law, Sean Daridia, and at Daridia Law Firm. If I'm messing these names up, y'all, please forgive me. Y'all know I will bush a name in a heartbeat. Then we got Justin A. Moore and at Stafford Moore PLLC. So let me just but count right quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attorneys are on this case, you guys. 6 attorneys. That's what you call a team, baby. Because this what this young fella needs. He needs a team. He don't need just one set of eyes no more. He needs a team. So this is 6 attorneys. Let me make sure I got it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 attorneys. And it looks like they are from 6 different law firms. Yeah. You got Wilson Law, Beslow Law, that's 2. Michael Ware, that's 3. Ben Crump Law, that's 4. Daridia Law, that's 5. And Stafford Law, that's 6. All 6 different law firms about to have their nose all up in the business, okay? It says our appellate team has been retained following the conviction to conduct a fresh independent review of the trial record. We recognize the profound loss suffered by one young man's family and the uncertainty facing another. And we extend our respect to everyone whose lives have been forever changed by these events. Our responsibilities is to determine whether a legal error occurred and to ensure that every issue supported by the record is fully and vigorously presented on appeal. Meaning they about to go dumpster diving, y'all. They're going dumpster diving to find any errors. And listen, we're not even attorneys, and we already know that there's errors. Not having no blacks on the jurors when you call yourself saying that you didn't want the blacks because they were educators, but you allow an educator and then gonna give a flamboyant excuse of why that educator was allowed to stay on the team, on the juror, because she teach hair. She teach how to do hair. Educator is an educator. I don't care if you teaching how to change a fucking tire on a beat up Yugo, okay? An educator is an educator. They said she works at a cosmetology school, so it's okay, okay? It's okay because she works at a cosmetology school and she teach kids over the age of 18. See, let me tell you what they were trying to do. If the defense attorney would have knocked that down, they would have came up with another excuse. Oh, we just don't want nobody that wear red nail polish. Or we don't want nobody that wear size 10 shoes. Or we don't want nobody that wear clip-on earrings. They would have just kept adding and adding and adding, okay? This should have been laid out in the beginning. They got rid of those 3 jurors because they were black. Let's just keep it a buck, okay? They were black. The state attorney told the judge that the reason why he took those 3 black females out of the jury pool was because they were educators, but an educator was able to stand on the jury. So that's one right there that we know that's an error, okay? We know that's an error. But trust and believe with these attorneys on the team now, they're going to find more. I guarantee you they're going to have pages and pages and pages of errors made. Pages and pages and pages of errors made. And let me tell you another error. The fact that the judge allowed the state attorney to sit there and ask students, friends of Austin, who do you think was the provocator, provoked this? Who do you think provoked it? Oh, Karmelo provoked it. Karmelo provoked it. Karmelo. This was asked to every single witness, all 21 witnesses, actually the 21 plus the 6. All 21 witnesses for the state was asked, who do you think provoked this? Karmelo. Karmelo did. Karmelo did. Karmelo. You don't think the jury is hearing that? That should have not been allowed. And I'm not even an attorney. So trust and believe they're about to pull back the onion and they're going to find all types of error. I promise y'all they will. Anyway, it says the appellate process exists for precisely this purpose. All right. So let's go down the list. I kind of want to pull up the pictures. Let me see if I can grab the photos of these attorneys as we speak. Hold on 1 second. Russell Wilson II, Dallas appellate attorney. Hold on. Dallas appellate attorney. You know what? I think somebody already then grabbed the photos, but I'm just going to put them up. I think I saw it somewhere, but I just don't know where I saw it at. But anyway, we're going to put these photos up as I speak. Now, this information I just received, you guys, so work with me as we get these photos up. So this is Russell Wilson right here. I'm going to read his bio as I put up his photo, okay? So Russell Williams is a Dallas trial and appellate attorney who has been board certified in the criminal law since 2003. Okay, so what is that? 20 years? No, wait a minute, 23 years. 23 years. And he's licensed in Texas since 1995, which means that he's been an attorney for a long time, but he just became board certified in criminal law since 2003, okay? But he's been an attorney since 1995. But in 2011, he was selected to direct the Dallas County District Attorney's Conviction Integrity Unit, described as its founding as the first of its kind in this nation, and has argued state and federal cases at both the trial and the appellate level over a career spanning 3 decades. He's been an attorney for over 30 years. He ain't playing, y'all. He leads the law office of Russell Williams II. All right. So, hey, you guys, introducing Russell Williams. Wilson. I keep saying Williams. Russell Wilson. This is him right here. Okay. The next guy is Gary Besdo. Ooh, Lord, please don't let me jack up his name. Gary hold on. Bleedso. How you say that? Bledo. I don't know how to say that. But anyway, let's pull him up. He is the NAACP guy. Let's pull his photos up right quick. Okay. I see you. Do you have another photo though? Let me see if he have another photo, because honey, he looking right crazy on that one. Okay, here he go. He's a elderly gentleman. He look like he come with it. All right, hold on. Let's put him up. His picture look a little blurry. I don't know why. But this is Gary Bledsoe. I hope I'm saying his name right, y'all. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. But let's put him up right quick, the NAACP guy, and let's read his bio as well. So he has served as the president of the Texas NAACP since 1991 and a member of the NAACP National Board of Directors since 2003. An Austin-based attorney. Ooh, they coming from all over. We got one from Dallas. Now we got one from Austin. An Austin-based attorney. He is admitted to practice before the U.S. Supreme Court. Oh, he practiced before the U.S. Supreme Court? He is admitted to practice before the U.S. Supreme Court and the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, served as acting dean of the Thurgood Marshall School of Law at Texas Southern University, and earned his JD from the University of Texas School of Law, where he is a permanent class officer. His earlier litigations and advocacy helped dismantle barriers that have kept minorities and women out of the Texas Rangers, and to provide video and body camera for Austin police. His awards include the Johnny Cochran Trailblazer Award of the Minority Caucus of Civil Rights section of the AAJ and Lifetime Achievement Award for the National Bar Association. Introducing to you guys, Gary L. Bleasdale. Now listen, if I'm saying his name wrong, y'all please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. But he is our NAACP attorney, okay? So he is coming for the civil rights avenue, okay? He's going to be talking about civil rights. All right, so now he's going to be checking to see if any civil rights errors were made, all right? Violations. Now we are going to Michael Ware, W-A-R, and he is he has the appellate experience. Okay, so hold on, y'all. So the first guy, let's put him back up. This is not the appellate attorney, even though he has argued appellate arguments before, trials, but he is the criminal defense attorney. So let me just make sure I'm saying it to you guys correctly. Yes, so, actually, he's coming for he got a criminal law, but he has argued state and federal cases at both trial and the appellate. So he has criminal law experience, which in this case, he's going to be for criminal law. But actually, no, it's all three. It says he is a trial and appellate attorney, but he is also a criminal law attorney as well. So he got all three of them under his belt, all right? So anyway, but it looks like on this one, he's going to be the appellate attorney, and then the Michael Ware guy is going to be the appellate attorney as well. Okay, so anyway, more than one appellate attorney. But let's put this guy up. Now, this guy is not even, he don't look like us, but we're going to put him up anyway. Hopefully this is the guy. It looks like he is. Let me just make sure before I throw this picture up there and y'all be like, take that shit down. Hold on one second. It says Michael Elware. Oh no, that says Michael Oware. I'm glad I didn't put that shit up. Hold on. Actually, it is him. But why do they have L on here? Let me make sure. Okay, so it is a white guy. So, no discrimination, you guys. No discrimination. It's just that I thought it was all black, but this looks like a white guy, and he is. It looks like he is gonna be on the case. Okay, so let me just download his photo. Look, I'm going with the flow, y'all. I'm going with the flow. I am going with the flow. Okay. It looked like they didn't mix some sugar with the coffee over here. All right, so we're gonna put him up as well. I wish I had a better picture of him, but this guy is Michael L. Ware. All right, he is going to be on the Carmelo Anthony's case. Yep. Yep, he is. Okay, so anyway, let me read what it says about his bio. All right, it says Michael L. Ware. They call him Mike. Okay, we calling him Mike. He is a board certified in criminal law since 1990 with 4 decades of trial and appellate experience in the state and federal courts. He founded the first conviction integrity unit in the United States while serving in the Dallas County District Office from 2007 to 2011. He is a 2-time Perry Foreman Criminal Defense Lawyer of the Year. He got 2 awards in 2014 and another one in 2020. He ain't playing, y'all. He is a Champion of Justice Award recipient from the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyer in 2022. And he was inducted into the Texas Criminal Defense Lawyer Hall of Fame in 2025. Okay? So this joker got 2 Champion of Justice awards, and also he is inducted into the Texas Criminal Defense Lawyer Hall of Fame. He's not playing, all right? So he brings his expertise of over 40 years on the Karmelo Anthony case as well, all right? So you guys, this is Michael L. Ware, all right? Now, let's go on to Brooke Cluse, C-L-U-S-E, Brooke Cluse. Okay, so Brooke Cluse. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, is this a female? Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute. It looked like it's a female. Is it? Hold on. I see, yeah, it looks like she is with Ben Crump Law. Okay, so let's pull her up right quick. We got a black sister girl on the team, y'all. Listen, I hope I am not giving you guys false information, but it looks here when I pulled up her photo. Yeah, it looks like, now this is a black and white photo. I'm wondering, can I get one that is not a black and white photo? Well, anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get one that's, and it's so small. I hope you guys can see this. But anyway, she looks to be a sister girl. It is a black and white photo, but in her other photos, she looks like a sister girl. So anyway, this is Brooke, y'all, honey. We got a sister girl on the team. All right. So Brooke Cluse served as a litigation attorney and the chief of staff to Ben Crump Esquire. She is a skilled civil rights attorney and former public defender in the Houston, Texas area. She advocates for the disenfranchised and fights to safeguard her clients' equal protection under the law. Ms. Cluse also provides legal commentary on employment discrimination and workplace equity and has won successful verdicts on several high-profile civil rights cases, okay? Introducing to you guys Miss Brooke Cluse, okay? Miss Brooke Cluse. Now, our fifth person is Sean Deridia. Sean Deridia. Coming up, Sean. Let me see how to spell that name again. It is Daredia. Daredia. Sean Derdia. That's what it sounds like. Derdia. Sean Derdia. Oh, is this him? Oh, Lord. Wait a minute. Is this? Hold on. Let me find out, y'all. Let me find out. Oh, wait a minute, y'all. I did all of this when I could have just pulled this. Lord, Father. Y'all, if I don't put this damn thing up right here, somebody done did the work for me, y'all. Look, thank Jesus, honey. Anyway, let's put this up, child. Let's put it up. Let's put it up. Somebody didn't put all the faces up there, y'all. All right. So I was doing it one by one, but somebody went and grabbed. Let me make sure I got them all right. Yep. Okay, so we are on the guy over here. Let me take this off right quick, this banner off. We are with the guy that has his arms folded with the blue jacket and the red tie right here. So we are on him, and his name is, let me make sure I pronounce it correctly again, Sean Derdia. Derdia. Okay? I may be jacking it up. If I am, please forgive me. He is a nationally recognized criminal defense trial attorney with over 100 jury trials under his belt. His practice focused primarily on murder and capital murder. He secured a full acquittal for his client that was charged in the capital murder of former University of Oklahoma and NFL player Devontae Lapkins. Okay? He further made history as lead defense counsel in the first Trin de Aragua capital murder prosecution ever tried before a jury in the United States, a nationally covered case that ended in a hung jury. Derdia also served as a legal analyst for NBC, providing commentary on high-profile criminal cases. All right, okay. So, y'all, that is, let me see if I can get a bigger picture of him so I can give him his proper recognition. Oh, he's a nice looking one, you know. Okay. You can't really see him in this small photo, but since I put all the rest of them up there bigger, I'm going to give him his recognition as well. All right. I hope you guys have some tissue and don't be drooling over this guy. All right. That is Sean, y'all. Everybody say, hey, Sean. Hey, Sean. Now, last but not least, Justin Moore. All right. So Justin Moore must be this fella down here. Let me go grab Justin Moore's photo as well so that he can get his, why his name got to be Justin? Oh, my Jesus. Justin Moore, Lord Father. All right, let's look at Justin Moore. Oh, okay, Justin, is this you? Hold on, is this Justin? Hold on, y'all. This might be Justin. Hold on, let me make sure I got the right Justin. So I won't, is this the same fella? It is. Okay, hold on. Justin A. Moore. Do I have the same right? Yeah, girl. All right, so he got a good looking little team going on. Let's meet Justin. Oh, shoot, it told me it can't download it. Hold on, let me do it another way. We're going to get you up there, Justin. Don't worry about it, child. We're going to get you. We're going to get Justin on up here, all right? Justin looked like a tall glass of coffee with a lot of creamer. Okay, look at Justin, y'all. Jesus mercy. Anyway, let me explain what's going on with Justin Moore. All right. He is a trial lawyer focused on criminal defense, post-conviction advocacy, and complex litigation. His work includes state and federal clemency matters, advocacy related to pardons of Marcus Garvey and Larry Hoover clemency, and involvement in the efforts to overturn Crystal Mason's voter fraud conviction. He has represented clients in high-profile criminal and civil rights matters, including securing the acquittal of a teenager charged with a falsely accused of capital murder. Good Jesus, honey, good Jesus. So, y'all, let me introduce to you guys The appellate team, no. The newly powerful appellate team for Karmelo Anthony. Here are the six. Here are the six, you guys. We got 3 brothers, 1 cousin, a sister girl, and what we gonna call him? You know, and our friend, okay? He's our friend. We don't know what he is. We don't know if he Middle Eastern. We don't know if he Hispanic. We don't know what he is, but we do know he is a nice looking fella, all right? So again, this is the new Karmelo Anthony's team, and they are doing it pro bono, meaning that they are not charging not one solitary dime to defend. Oh, you know what, y'all? They had the photos right here. Lord, Father, y'all look at this. This is what happened when you get information at the last minute. Listen, lead counsel is Russell Wilson II. He's out of Dallas, Texas. We got third chair, Gary L. Bledsoe, out of Austin, Texas. We got Michael L. Ware, second chair, out of Fort Worth, Texas. We got co-counsel Brooke Cluse out of Frisco, Texas. We got co-counsel Sean Derdia out of Dallas, Texas. And then we got co-counsel Justin A. Moore out of Dallas, Texas. So they are with the I Stand for Karmelo appellate team group, and they ain't coming to play. They ain't coming to play, all right? So let's explain what they will be doing so we will all be on the same sheet of paper. Don't think that this is an automatic win. They do still have a job ahead of them, all right? So what does all of this mean? This means that, yes, Karmelo Anthony has a new appellate legal team, not a new appellate attorney, but he has a legal team helping him with his appeal after his murder conviction of 35 years sentence. All right, now let's talk about the important things about this. This does not mean that he is getting out of jail tomorrow, y'all. It don't mean he's getting out of jail even next month. But what it does mean that a group of lawyers has stepped up to review the trial and look for any legal errors that could support an appeal, okay? Now, the substitute of counsel means a lawyer change. They have filed the paperwork so that the new team can officially represent him in the appellate process. Pro bono means free legal work. The lawyers are saying they are taking on this case without charging him, Karmelo, or his family a penny. Not one red penny. It's free, y'all. So all these people around here collecting money and this, that, and the other, you know, well, the daddy already said that he ain't authorized nobody to collect no money, so that's just suspect. That's all I'm going to say about that. But it said here that these attorneys are doing it for pro bono, meaning they are not charging the family anything. Now, I do think, if I'm not mistaken, I do think that they are taking donations with the I Stand for Karmelo, but what they're not doing is charging the family. The family don't have to go sell houses, sell purses, sell shoes, sell ass, fish plates, or nothing, okay? They are doing it without charging Karmelo Anthony or his family not one solitary dime, all right? Now, their job is not to retry the whole case, right? That's not what it is. Appeals are usually about finding legal mistakes. Like, let's go down a list of some of the mistakes that they can find. Evidence that should or should not have been allowed. Father God, we're going to hear about this book bag. We're going to hear about this book bag. Do y'all hear me? We're about to hear about this book bag. Again, evidence that should or should not have been allowed. Evidence that should have been allowed, which is that book bag, and evidence that should not have been allowed, and that is, who do you think provoked this fight? Or who do you think was the provocator, the provoker? And maybe I'm saying a word wrong, but who do you think provoked this? Who do you think provoked this? Who do you think provoked this? That should not have been allowed, okay? Another thing, jury instructions issues. They're going to take a look and see, did Judge Roach give the proper jury instructions? He should have left out the provocation. Who provoked it, this shit or whatever. He should have left that out. He should have struck it from the juror's ears, but he did not. So again, jury instruction issues, improper questionings. Okay, they're looking for that. Improper questionings. Was a question improperly asked and should have been objected, and is sorry as, no good, trifling as, low down, dirty ass defense attorney Mike Howard, I think that's his damn name. He was supposed to object, and there's a lot of things that he did not object. So were there improper questioning? Hell yeah. Constitutional issues. Constitutional issues. I know one, the boy asked, is he going to be all right? And he cried and said, I told him not to touch me, and he did anyway. That is a violation of his rights. Austin Medcalf snatched that boy's bag and should have been charged with theft, and he wasn't charged with anything. I mean, I know he can't be charged because he's no longer here, but that should have been taken into account. You have a right to defend your property. If somebody is trying to take your property, you have a right to defend your property. That was not brought up in court. Neither Michael Howard, the defense attorney, nor anybody else brought that up in court. Okay? Constitutional issues. You have a constitutional right to protect what belongs to you. Okay? Sentencing issues. He was sentenced to 35 years. We're talking about a 17-year-old, no prior criminal history. This young fella has never gotten in trouble, was 17 at the time, 3.7 GPA student, captain of his football team. He was an idle student before this. Sentencing issue, one mistake, because he made one careless mistake and was sentenced to 35 years. Nah. At 17, but you let a guy that was underage rape 2 females. He was sentenced to 80 years, and the judge suspended his sentence and said, I don't want to mess up this young fella's life. Where we do that at? Where do we do that at? If you're going to allow another student, another child to get it right, then Karmelo Anthony should have been allowed another chance to get it right. Let's go there. Another case that happened in another part of Texas. I want to say the guy name was, I can't think of his name straight off, but I see his face, little white kid. He unalived a Hispanic boy in the bathroom for jumping him. Now, mind you, the fella didn't jump him right then and there. He jumped him before, and it was caught on camera. But he walked into the bathroom with a book bag with a knife in his bag, and he stabbed the fella. He stabbed him like 7 or 8 times or something like that or whatever. And he got reckless homicide. Reckless homicide. Of course, Texas, they put that weapon charge on him. So he's in prison for 10 years, but 10 sound a whole lot better than 35, don't you think? 10 is a whole lot better than 35. Okay? In Texas, we're talking the state of Texas. Texas versus Texas, you guys. Texas versus Texas, all right? Another one is whether the trial counsel handled something incorrectly. Baby, they coming after the mother effing trial counsel. When you say the trial counsel, we're talking the prosecutor and the damn defense. We ain't just talking one or the other. We're talking both. Did they get it wrong? Did the defense do enough? Did he do a well enough job? Was his job sufficient? Hell no. How you not bring up theft of property? Huh? Where you do that at? How you not bring up theft of property? How you not bring up that it was more than one person against one fella? Well, what do you think he was running for? He was running because it was more than one of them. He was sitting down the whole entire time, and you say he provoked. How you provoke somebody sitting down and you got a giant standing over you? Not one giant, but two. Two big, clumsy-looking ass giants standing over you. But all of a sudden, you want to say he provoked it? This boy didn't stand up until after the stabbing took place, you guys. but he provoked it. He's sending down 9 threatened. Austin could have kept his hands to himself, and he would be alive today. This would not have happened if Austin would have kept his hands to his mother effing self. They didn't even say anything about that. Like, it's okay for 2 big, clumsy-ass, goofy-ass bullies to put their hands on you and get away with it. No. And then last but not least, they will be looking for whether the courts made errors that affected the verdict. Yeah, they did. Let me tell you what the court did. The court put a gag order out there, and he silenced everybody, including the parents, including Karmelo, including anybody dealing with this case. So you know what that did? That left a lot of us out of the loop. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Attorneys actually be looking at social media. I didn't think so until I witnessed it myself, okay? I witnessed it myself in my case when I went in, y'all know who I'm talking about. The judge said, I seen the video and you are a different person in this video that I watched than you was in my courtroom when I issued you that protective order. She went through that girl's channel. Now, I don't know if she did personally or did her secretary do it, but baby, they went through that YouTube channel. I swear for God, y'all. I swear for God, they watched her channel. The judge saw her in actions. I'm telling y'all what I know. So they looked at social media, and had a gag order not been in place, bloggers like myself and other good bloggers out there, we would have broke this shit down. We would have been knew that Karmelo Anthony was innocent. We would have been knew that not Justin, but Hunter and Austin were bullies. We would have by now found out everybody they done bullied in their damn life. You hear me? We would have already knew that. We would have knew about the damn father, how racist his ass was, because we would have brought it out of him. We would have known a whole lot if they would have allowed bloggers like myself, us nosy-ass bloggers, to jump in this and pull out the business. See, they don't like bloggers. See, these news people, they get paid by a channel to report a certain way. No, we get paid by our supporters. Our supporters tip us, and YouTube throw an ad up there here and there, okay? So we're going to bring it to you straight. We ain't getting paid by NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox, and all that other bullshit. Even Court TV. I found out that they own some bogus bullshit-ass station, even though they did do an interview with me, but they full of shit too. They actually believe that Karmelo Anthony was really guilty. Fuck out of here, because he's not. He's not, okay? Listen, we would have broke this thing down like a M16, and that's why the judge put a gag on it. And I'm so glad that they didn't gag the other case that we're working on, because there's a lot of information we wouldn't have known. And let me tell you something. No hit against Karmelo Anthony's mama and daddy, but they naive like me. Y'all remember when I first came to social media, I was green as hell. Let me tell you something. When you live in the suburbs, you mind your business. You don't even be worried about city business. You don't even be knowing if your city is the most crime city in the damn state. You don't be knowing. It's a lot of information that I didn't know until I came to social media. Y'all done taught me all type of slang words and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck that mean? What this mean? What this mean? Social media gonna get you right, okay? They gonna get you right. So with that being said, Karmelo Anthony, mama, and daddy were green. They still green. But I think they learned their lesson, y'all. I think they realized they got bamboozled. They was told to shut up, and that's exactly what they did. They shut up. They probably didn't even discuss this in their own family. They probably didn't discuss it with grandmama. They probably didn't discuss it with cousins. They probably didn't say nothing to nobody. They just sat there and just did what they were supposed to do. They were voters. They were taxpayers. They was idle citizens. They just do what they're told. But what was the civil rights guy? What was his name that said sometimes you gotta go find that good trouble? You gotta go find that good trouble. See, they wasn't that type of people. They were Republicans, but we ain't gonna fault them on that. We ain't gonna beat them up, because they probably gonna change after this. You hear me? They probably gonna change after this because the very people that they vote for was typing and shit on the day of this sentence saying, good job, Texas, for locking up another black guy. Good job. We got another black brother off the streets at a young age. Do you hear me? So after this, I guarantee you they're going to start paying attention a little bit more. See, they voted Republicans where they say, we believe in equal rights. There's no racism in America. Yeah, John Lewis, that's his name. John Lewis says sometimes you got to get into some good trouble. Some good trouble, okay? So now that they got the NAACP and other black leaders leading this case pro bono, I think they're gonna look at it again, okay? I think they're gonna look at it again because they realize no matter what you vote, your skin is your skin, baby. I don't know what be wrong with these people who think, because I got a lot of white friends, I hang out with white people and this, that, and the other, I'm not going to be treated like who I really am, and that is a black American, okay? They treated Karmelo Anthony like a black American despite what his mama and daddy voted for. You hear me? Because see, and then his mama came out and said, I voted Republican. I'm a conservative. And they show her just how much they don't give a damn because they don't care if you vote conservative until the day of election. That's it. They don't give a damn the day before, and they damn sure don't give a damn the day after. They only care when it's time for you to make your vote. That's it. They don't care about that. And it's by the time black people realize that. You sit here and say, I don't see color. Well, they do. They see color, and they did. In Karmelo Anthony case, I wanted so bad to believe this was not about race, but it was absolutely about race. Look at Austin dad. Racist ass came straight out. He didn't even let the boy stay 1 week in jail, and he came out here with that bullshit. So we see what type of person he is. And if he's like that, with his now 19-year-old or 18 or 19-year-old sons, you don't think they act just like him? You don't think they learned some of that stuff? You don't think that they thought it's okay to put their hands on a black boy and get away with it? Yeah, they thought it. So again, this ain't no dig, no hit against their parents. But what I will say is, I think after this, they're going to start appreciating these civil rights attorneys. They're going to start appreciating these civil rights laws. They be voting against it, y'all. You hear me? They be voting against the laws. Republicans vote against these laws. You hear me? They vote against them. But I bet you they'll change after this. But nevertheless, what I will say is no hit. They were green. They was told to shut up, and they shut up. Now, what I will say is if they would have talked, what would have happened to them? You cannot violate somebody's First Amendment rights if they talk. Everybody got a right to say what the fuck they got to say, okay? They could have still talked about what was going on with their child. They wasn't facing no damn criminal charge. Their son was. They did what they was told to do, be quiet, and he still got 35 years. Now I want to ask y'all a question. If your son facing up to 99 years for killing a white boy and the courts tell you to shut the fuck up, are you shutting the fuck up, or you going to talk? Are you going to talk? Because I'm going to talk. I'm going to go find that good trouble. What they going to do, lock me up for 72 hours? I could do 72. But I'm going to talk. I'm going to get what I got to say out there, and then if I got to do 72, but guess what? Everybody done heard me. You hear me? See, they wanted the family to not say anything because they didn't want the public involved. We would have known that they was railroading this kid already. We would have known that the state had 21 witnesses. Y'all, we would have knew that. We would have knew that the defense attorney witnesses, 3 of them was going to turn. We would have known that already. We would have knew it already, y'all. We would have knew that the 21 witnesses for the state was going to change what they said already. We would already known it because we would have broke it down already, y'all. And a lot of bloggers would have broke it down. They would have been already on this case. Honey, we would have already found all the loopholes, all of them, okay? She said, yep, they didn't want black people involved. And that's why they did a gag order. That's exactly why they did a gag order. See, we didn't know. We like, oh, the judge just want to stop racism. He just don't want people, threatening the judge and threatening these people's families and this, that, and the other. Yeah, no, They didn't want no black people involved, period. That's why they took the last 3 black qualified jurors. They took them off, talking about they educators. Hell, we all educators. Don't you teach your child how to tie their shoe? Don't you teach your child how to say their prayers, how to eat, how to walk? Don't you teach your child how to say dad, mama, mama? We all educators. Stop playing here. Talking about they some damn educators. But then they allowed a juror that's an educator to stay on there. Get the F out of here. I don't give a damn what you educating, you teaching somebody. An educator is an educator is an educator. Period. I can't wait till they get started. Anyway, it says Ben Crump being connected makes this bigger publicity. It gives the case national attention and pressure, but it still has to go through the legal appeal process. We know that, but Ben Crump is on the damn case. So let's talk about what I just went over. Karmelo Anthony now has a major. Can we say major? Can we say big, big? Can we say big, big? Not the little one, but the big one. We got a major appellate team stepping up pro bono, which means they ain't charging the family shit. Now, again, this doesn't mean that he's walking out of prison right now. But what it does mean, his conviction and 35-year sentence is about to be reviewed hard way. They about to look at it the hard way with a fine-tooth comb, baby. I'm telling you now, they already about to find something, honey. Hell, I work pro bono too. I'm going to be calling in and saying, look for this, look for that. Don't forget this, don't forget that, don't forget this. What about this? What about that? We need to be up under Ben Crump's comments and letting them know what else they need to be looking for every goddamn day. We don't care. They be reading that shit. Trust. They got social media teams that be reading the important shit, okay? Now, they're about to review this the hard way. The new lawyers will be looking for any legal errors in this trial's record and will decide what issues to raise to the appellate, okay? They will be looking for everything. Now, no offense to the attorney that the state had assigned, but did y'all hear me what I said? The attorney. They had assigned an attorney. An attorney, meaning one set of eyes, okay? This team right here said, move over bacon because here comes sizzling. We don't need your spam. We don't need that. We already paid money to a single set of eyes and he got it wrong. He got it absolutely wrong. So now you got to tell all 6 of them that they wrong. They from 6 different law groups. And 6 of them, baby, and I'm loving every bit of it. And I love the fact that they are doing this for free. Now, let's go here for a minute, because I know some people probably say, they should have been stood up. Why didn't it? Listen, let's kill that noise. It's always better late than never, okay? Whether they should have stood up or not, hell, it was a gag order. We didn't know he was about to get railroad. Hell, I didn't know he was about to get 35 damn years. I didn't know that. I was shocked when I found out that they charged. I kept saying it ain't no way he can get first degree. It ain't no way. The dude put his hands on him. I said it ain't no way he gonna get first degree. And what he get? First degree. I was shocked. I was appalled. I was taken back. That shit made me sick. Like literally, matter of fact, I told my moderators, I was like, I don't think I want to cover this case no more because it makes me sick to come out here and have to process that this young fella got 35 years. It made me sick to my stomach. I couldn't believe it. But now I get this news. I've been praying for this though. I really have. I've been saying, Lord, do something. I don't know what you could do, Lord, but do something. This is wrong. Every being in my body told me that this was wrong. It ain't no way this 17-year-old should be in prison. This is wrong. She said, can we pay them something? I do believe that they do have, let me look right quick. I do believe it's called We Stand with Karmelo. Hold on. I think they do. Hold on. Well, I see the Stand with Karmelo Coalition, but let me see if they are announcing Stand with Karmelo Coalition. I don't, you know what? I will find out and I will let you know. I think the Stand with Karmelo Coalition, I think they will be asking for donations. Once I find out, I will let you guys know. They're not asking, they saying pro bono now. So of course it would be volunteer or whatever. And I would definitely be posting that. Every time I talk about this case, I will post that. Oh, wait a minute. Standwithcarmelo.com. Let me go to it. Stand with Karmelo. Standwithcarmelo.com. Okay, I see the page. Okay, it says more information coming soon. So they do have a standwithcarmelo.com website, and they said more information coming soon. If I was you guys, I would go ahead and download, not download, but put this as your favorite, standwithcarmelo.com. And they're gonna be putting updated information on here. And we'll be able to go to this website and find out what's the latest and the greatest, okay? And I will only really believe what they are saying instead of just like Fox News, CNN. Fuck them. They had a chance to get it right and they got it wrong, okay? So we're going to be getting our information from, the attorneys, of course, their pages, Ben Crump and all of them or whatever. But we will also be going to this website with the standwithcarmelo.com. They said more information coming soon. And so, which means that I'm sure that if they had a pay link, volunteer pay or whatever, it would be on this website. So Stand with Karmelo. Make sure you have his name right, Karmelo, and it's .com, not .net, not .org, is .com, because you already know some racist motherfucker out there is going to try to dub this website or whatever and put out false information. All right. So anyway, let's get back to our legal team, baby. Our powerful, our big legal team is stepping up to the plate. Now, there is a video that was released by TMZ. Let's go to the video and see exactly what it says. Okay, hold on. I'm glad this is happening because, baby, he needs it. Ooh, I like this photo better. Ooh, let me put this photo up. Let me take this one down and let me put this photo up. I like this one better. Let's put this photo up. That one look a little better, don't it? Karmelo Anthony announced his new appellate legal team following murder conviction. It says a powerhouse team, committed to justice. This team will conduct a thorough review of the trial records and pursue every available avenue of the appeal to ensure that justice is served. If they can find it, they're going to find it, okay? If it's to be found, this team is going to find it. But let me get to TMZ, what they said about it, because I think they released a video in regards to it. And listen, let me just say this. Don't let nobody, say to you or, dampen your spirit by saying it ain't going to work. It's not going to help. They could do whatever they want. Nothing's going to change. Don't listen to that. Just don't. Just say okay and keep it moving because, people love to try to kill your spirit with that bullshit. All right. All right, hold on. I'm about to post it up here, but let me let them do their commercial because everybody got to get paid, right? So let me get through this commercial, and then we're going to talk about it. We're going to release the video. NAACP President Gary Blasdo. I just have a feeling I'm saying his name wrong, but baby, I just like the fact that they got civil rights attorney on the team, okay? She said, we just want a fair trial. Exactly, fair. Exactly. If it's to be found, it's going to be found. All right, here it goes. Oh, no, they talking about Taylor Swift. Hold on. Come on. Come on, TMZ. Here, let me just go to YouTube. When you go to their page, they want to play all type of ads. This is good news. Absolutely good news. I'm glad they're doing this. And it's even been attorneys that have came out already and said that they feel that this was wrong. Okay, so TMZ don't have it on here. I think one of y'all sent it to me. Hold on. One of y'all sent me the TMZ talking about it. Let me see. No, that was being Crump. Is this it? Oh no, that's Willie D. Willie D on the case too, y'all. All right, so I don't have TMZ's post, but nevertheless, we're just going to hold on. I wanted to play what they sent me about TMZ, but I don't see it. Just for GP, y'all. Just for GP. Do y'all mind? Let's just go down a little bit. Let's just, let's patronize these one of these news channels right here. Let's patronize what is this one? ABC. ABC just released a video talking about the new legal team. Let's just see what they're saying. I'm just interested at this point. Let's just see what noise they're talking, okay?
A judge has released video evidence in a teen athlete murder case. Karmelo Anthony was convicted in...
Oh, no, not that one. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not talking about the evidence. We know about the damn evidence. I'm talking about the legal team announced. Here we go. Today, Here we go. We talking about the new legal team, baby. We ain't talking about no evidence.
Today, a new legal team was announced to represent Karmelo Anthony as he appeals his murder conviction. Earlier this month, a teenager was sentenced to 35 years in prison for the murder of Austin Metcalf at a track meet in Frisco last year. Anthony's legal team includes Russell Wilson II, who is a Dallas trial and appellate attorney. The team says they are serving pro bono and will pursue all available avenues of appeal.
Okay.
Today, new legal.
So they ain't say nothing, but they did put some in their little write-up. Let's read that. A new legal team was announced today to represent Karmelo as he appeals his murder conviction. Early this month, the team was sentenced to 35 years for murder of Austin Metcalf at a track meet in Frisco. Anthony's legal team, okay, it's the same thing. So they're not giving much on it. They're not saying much. They just, just giving a little, let me just give you this news. Now, let me go to Don. Let me go to the Lemon Nation. Let me go to Don Lemon, because I know Don Lemon is talking about it. Or what's our other guy over there that talks about this type of stuff? Let's go to Don Lemon. Let's see what Don Lemon is saying about this. Oh, Don Lemon's not on it. Let me see. No, Don Lemon is Don Lemon he's too funny to me. He is not talking about it. He's Barack Obama and Trump. He stay on them. So he's not talking about it. What's that other guy name? I can't think of his name. He used to be on NBC or something like that. Somebody said, can I ask a question? Say he comes off clean and get to go home. Once they find him innocent, can he turn around and sue Collins County for the way he was mistreated? So I was always told you cannot sue for that. If he was jailed, he can sue for being jailed. But let me make sure I'm telling you correctly. Hold on. if Karmelo sentence gets vacated, I don't think he can, because I think it's called, she said, I think Candy said she sent you the video. Okay, all right, I'll look for it. Thanks. Oh, wait a minute. My bad. My bad. I said, if Karmelo Anthony's sentence gets vacated and he is free to walk, can he sue? It says yes, possibly, but it depends on why his sentence and conviction gets vacated. If the appeal court says there was a legal error and he gets a new trial, that does not automatically mean he can sue and win. A vacated conviction alone usually means the case goes back to court and the state may retry him. But if the case ends with a finding that he is actually innocent, or the charges are dismissed in a way that clears his name completely, then he has a much stronger path. In the state of Texas, wrongful imprisonment compensation generally requires that a person serve time and then was pardoned, granted relief on actual innocence, or otherwise meet the statute requirements. Texas compensation law is under Chapter 103 of the Civil Patients and Remedies Code. Texas is known for paying exonerees under the Tim Cole Act about $80,000 per year of wrongful incarceration, plus other benefits in qualifying cases. But suing individual people is harder. So the prosecutor usually have strong immunity for courtroom and charging decisions. Police or investigators can sometimes be sued if there is evidence of misconduct, like fabricating the evidence, hiding the evidence, or coercing the witnesses to testify falsely, or violating constitutional rights. And even then, that may raise qualifying immunity. So the lawsuit can be difficult. However, if Karmelo Anthony conviction is vacated and it goes back down to the courts for a new trial, or if it's dismissed or he is found innocent and there was an error, a trial error, then he does have legal rights to sue. But that's $80,000 per year, which means that if he stays, so you have to serve time, right? So if he serves a year, then it's equivalent to $80,000. Okay. She said, I'll sue the Metcalf for defamation of character. Now that I think his parents should do. I think his parents should sue for defamation of character. I really do. You know, and harassment, because at this point he's lying on them. He's lying. That's defamation of character, and he's harassing them because they have yet to come out. He said they were making it about race. Please tell me, unless I'm dumb, blind, and ignorant, when have Karmelo Anthony mom or dad ever came out and mentioned anything about some damn race? I have not seen them say any. They said always making it about race. How? How the hell are they making it about race? I have not heard them say anything about race. His team is going to get it dropped to the manslaughter and get him 4 years on probation, no prison time. Mark my word, y'all. Well, if they get it dropped to manslaughter, then, you know, I will feel better, especially if he gets manslaughter and then just for probation. I would feel a whole lot better, because I do believe that he did make a mistake, you know, a split decision. You know what I'm saying? It was a bad decision, because I don't think that taking a weapon out and stabbing someone should be justified. However, given the circumstances, he had two big bullies standing over him, giant knee-knocking ass bullies standing over him, and one of them put his hands on him, and I believe he thought the other one was going to put his hands on him as well. So I do believe that he was in fear of great bodily harm. So because of that, I feel like, you know, because he made a bad decision instead of just walking away, because he could have still just walked away. But who the fuck is Austin Metcalf to tell someone to leave, and when they say no, he put his hands on them? Who is he? See, Karmelo should have broke his fucking fingers one by one, is what he should have done. Instead of bringing out the knife, he should have broke his hand, like broke it off, you know? He is innocent, People, stop giving into the racism brainwashing. He needs to be freed. It was self-defense. The Texas law literally says that. When you say brainwash, are you saying because he made a split-second bad decision? I still think he made a bad decision pulling out the knife. However, it wasn't no motherfucking first-degree murder, and it damn sure wasn't no 35-degree sentence. Hell no, you know? But if he gets manslaughter, you know, even if they dropped it to manslaughter and 4 years probation, boom, he's going to have a great-ass life ahead of him, okay? I don't think he stabbed him. Someone made a mistake in that crowd, and it wasn't Karmelo. See, the only thing about that, Gloria, he admitted it. He actually, when the guy said we have the alleged suspect here, when he said it's not alleged, I did it, that's admittance. And he did it on his own free will. So we can't ride with that one, unfortunately, Gloria. He actually admitted it. Once you admit to the crime, you can't come back later and be like, I admitted it and no one told me to do it. I just did it because I thought that was the best thing to do. He admitted it. So unfortunately, he can't just come out and say, I didn't do it. Okay. Now, if he admitted it in interrogation, he can come out and say, you know, they made me say that shit, right? But because he admitted it, you know, listen, his mom and daddy were green. He didn't know. He thought he was doing the right thing. He thought he was taking responsibility. He didn't know they were setting his ass up to just take another brother off the street. He didn't know that, right? He said it's not alleged, I did it. So the fact that he admitted, you know, right there, she said he was in shock. His Miranda rights were not read. Yeah, but is another thing is called, let me tell you what it's called. And we don't know if his Miranda right. Well, I guess we would. I don't know if we know his Miranda rights was read or not, because when they handcuff you, they supposed to read you your Miranda rights. Okay, so we can't say for certain that his Miranda rights wasn't read. Right? It could have been before he turned on that damn camera. However, utterance. Thank you so much. Utterance is something. Utterance is what is it? When you speak before Miranda rights. It's something utterance. It's called hold on. Excited utterance. Okay, it's called excited utterance. And excited utterance is something a person blurts out during or right after a shocking, stressful event before they have time to calm down and make shit up. Okay, so they can use that in court. An excited utterance can be used in court. Okay, because they say you said that before really thinking. All right. Thinking about what it is that you did, what is it, you know, or whatever, right? So they take that as true information, okay? She said, this lady is smart. Are you an attorney? No, I am not an attorney, but I should have been an attorney. I should have been Karmelo's attorney. I think I would have done a better job than Mike Howard ass did, okay? But no, I'm not an attorney, but Lord knows I should have. She said, look at this video from The View. All right, so she just sent me a video from The View.
Now there's new footage.
All right, hold on. Let me see, because The View like to strike people and shit. Let me see what they said in the video.
Now let's talk about what this clip is really about, because this Karmelo Anthony case is still causing a lot of debate. The new footage that was released shows the moments after the stabbing, and in that footage, you can hear Karmelo saying, "He put his hands on me. I told him." That statement is important because it goes directly to the self-defense argument. His side has been saying that Austin put his hands on him first, and now people are looking at that video and asking whether the jury gave the self-defense claim enough weight. But this conversation is not just about the video, it's also about the jury. On The View, they brought up the fact that Karmelo was convicted by a jury with no black jurors. They said the black jurors who were in the jury pool were struck, and the reason given was that they were educators. The explanation was basically that since this happened between high school students at a school track meet, educators may not be impartial. But Sunny Hostin pushed back on that and said she does not believe that was a good enough reason to strike black jurors, especially when you have a young black teenager on trial. That is why people keep bringing up whether Karmelo really had a jury of his peers.
Nope.
This is where the appeal conversation comes in. An appeal is not just about whether people agree or disagree with the verdict. The appellate team has to look for legal errors. So they may look at whether the jury selection was fair, whether any jurors were improperly removed, whether the self-defense instructions were handled properly, and whether any evidence or arguments at trial created an unfair outcome. Now, another big part of the discussion is self-defense. Sonny pointed out that Karmelo was much smaller than Austin, and she questioned why the jury rejected self-defense if Karmelo was smaller, if Austin put his hands on him first, and if Karmelo felt threatened in that moment. But the other side of the argument is this. Even if someone touches you first, does that automatically justify deadly force? That is the legal question. Self-defense does not always mean you have to match force with force, but deadly force usually has to be tied to a reasonable fear of death or serious bodily injury. So this case is divided because one side says he was touched first, he was smaller, and he reacted out of fear. The other side says a push or confrontation does not automatically justify stabbing someone and taking a life. And that is why this case is not going away. The View was not saying Karmelo is automatically getting out. They were saying there may be serious appeal issues that need to be reviewed, especially the jury selection, the lack of black jurors, the reason those black jurors were struck, and the newly released footage where Karmelo says he put his hands on me. So the question now is not just what happened under that tent. The question is whether the trial was handled fairly, whether the jury was fairly selected, and whether self-defense was properly considered. And with this new legal team stepping in, you can best believe this appeal is about to be watched very closely.
Yep, because I'm going to be watching it, baby. Raise your hand in the chat if you too will be watching this entire appeal, okay? This entire appeal, will you be watching it? I know I will. I know I will. So basically, she said Sonny used to be a prosecutor. Oh, okay. I didn't know she used to be a federal prosecutor. I wasn't sure of that. However, basically, they're saying the three things that that they feel the appellate court should be looking at, and one, whether or not the black jurors, saying they wasn't educators, is that enough legal weight to for the prosecutor to use? I don't think so. Also, he said he put his hands on me. So the self-defense should have been raised a little bit more because, no one denied that Austin hit him first. Hit him, pushed him, put his hands on him, whatever the hell, And then the size of the guys, right? The brothers versus the weight of Karmelo Anthony. That should have been taken in consideration as well, all right? So she said, when will it take place? So they have to file for the appeal first. And, sometimes, they got within 30 days. Matter of fact, let's listen to that. They have 30 days from the sentence date to file for the appeal. All right, let's listen to the entire thing. How long do they have to file the appeal? And what's the next steps? Here we go. In the state of Texas criminal cases, the defense usually has 30 days from the day sentence is imposed to open court to file the notice of appeals, which they already did that, okay? So my mistake. They have 30 days to file notice of appeal. And y'all, they did it on day one. Day one, when they sentenced this guy, before the end of the night, there was notice of appeal already filed, all right? So if they timely file a motion for a new trial, the appellate deadline can extend to 90 days from sentencing. Texas appellate court rules also allows a possible 15-day extension, but only if the required notice/motion is filed within that extension window, which they've already filed a notice of appeal, you guys. So for Karmelo Anthony, if he was sentenced on June the 9th, the normal notice of appeal deadline would be around July the 9th. But if a motion for new trial was timely filed, that could push the notice deadline to around September the 7th. The exact date can depend on court filings and how weekends and holidays fall. So I would not call that a final without seeing the documents, which means that September the 7th is a rough estimate of time frame, right? Now, here are the next steps. This is what it looks like after the appeal is filed. Well, let's slow down. Notice of appeal gets filed first. That is the document saying, we are appealing this conviction / sentence. Number 2, new appellate lawyer formally substitute in. So this whole team will take over. They'll toss away that bacon and bring in that sizzling. All right. That means the new team asked the court to recognize them as Karmelo Anthony's attorney and that they will be handling the appeal moving forward. All right. Number 3, the trial records get prepared. The appellate team, all six of them and their staff, they will order and review the clerk's records, the transcripts, the exhibits, the jury selection, the objections, the motions, the ruling, and the sentence records. Everything, okay? Everything they will take a look at. Number 4, they will write down, identify, and record the appellate issues. Possible issues could include jury selection, which is the Batson case, self-defense instructions, evidence ruling, improper questioning, prosecutorial arguments, the sentencing issues, or anything that the trial counsel object to and preserved. Number 5, the defense filed the appellate brief. Baby, oh, I can't wait. This is where they lay out the legal argument and ask the appeal court for relief. Then they will have to allow the state to respond. The prosecutor will turn around and file their own brief defending the conviction and the sentence, okay? Then the defense may still file a reply after the state say what they gonna say, because you know the state gonna say something, right? And then the defense get an opportunity to reply, all right? Now, then the Court of Appeal issues a decision. They'll look over it, look at both arguments, and then they will either affirm the conviction. They will reverse and order a new trial, or they may just modify something or send an issue back to the trial court. But y'all, let me read this and then I'm gonna tell you something. The appeal does not start with the lawyers just saying they disagree with the verdict. The first steps is making sure the notice of appeal is filed on time, has already done that. In Texas, it's usually 30 days from sentence unless a motion for new trial is extended. After that, the appellate team gets the full trial records and they start looking for the errors. Then jury selection, looking for the errors, whether it was jury selection, self-defense, evidence ruling, sentencing, or whether anything happened that could have effect on the outcome. All right, that is the steps. Now, y'all want to know the good thing about this? I don't know if this is a good thing or not. Y'all tell me. Do y'all want to know a good thing about this? Judge Roach ass will be out of there. Judge Roach ass announced his retirement for 6 months. He'll be out of there. He will be gone, y'all. He said he was waiting on to put the last Ninja Turner in jail, okay? He was waiting for his last one under his belt, okay? His ass said he will be gone in 6 months. I do not believe that this will be complete. Matter of fact, let me ask. Hold on one second. Since the judge has announced his retirement in 6 months, could this appeal, what I want to say, not cause him to stay, but mandate him to stay on the case, or will it be assigned to someone else? All right, let's find out if Roach is going to have to stay or leave. I hope they boot his ass the hell up out of there. Okay, it says no. The appeal usually do not force the trial judge to stay on the case just because he's presiding over the trial. Once a judge retires, the case can be handled by whomever has authority over that trial court seat next, either the newly seated judge, another assigned judge, or in some situations, a retired former judge sitting by assignment. He can retire and come back. What the hell? It says Texas law allows active, retired, and former judges to be assigned to trial court, and retired former judges must qualify for the proper case specialties such as criminal case. What the hell? So this jugger can come back? Could the retired judge be brought back? Possibly, but only by assignment. Okay, so only by assignment. Okay. Will this take longer than 6 months? Hold on, y'all. If he is assigned this case, oh my God, Jesus. Why did I just get a headache? If he assigned this case, he could actually stay on. It says an appeal like this will almost definitely take longer than 6 months. Even if the notice of appeal is already filed, the process usually has several slow steps. First, the appellate team has to get the full trial records, everything, y'all, everything, the transcripts, the exhibits, the jury selection, which means they're going to know all the jurors, all their business, all their mama business, their daddy business, everything, y'all. They're going to get the objections, the motions, the ruling, the sentencings, the everything, all the statements, y'all. All 21 of those witnesses' statements will be reviewed. And we already know what they said on the stand in their transcripts is totally different than what they said to the popo the day or soon after the incident, okay? Then the defense has to write the appellate brief explaining what legal errors they believe happened. After that, the state gets time to respond. Then the defense may file a reply. So write out a proper timeline for this case. All right. Let's look at a proper timeline. Now, y'all don't stick me to this timeline. This is just a, a synopsis, okay? All right. So let me see, does the new legal team have to file the notice of appeal? It was already filed by Karmelo Anthony, but it was filed up under, well, I actually don't know what attorney filed it up under, because I think he ditched his attorney after he allowed him to get that fucked up as a sentence of 35 years. So, hold on. It says, so he was sentenced on the 9th. It says since it's already been filed, that part is done. The next important date is July the 9th. This is still important because it's roughly 30 days after the sentence, and that would be the deadline for the defense to file or amend a motion for new trial. A motion for new trial is different from the appeal. They're not doing a motion for new trial, though. Okay, so if no motion for new trial is filed, so it says they can ask for a motion for new trial, right? And that is different from the appeal. If the trial judge, it asks the trial judge to look at certain issues before the case fully moves through the appellate court. If the new legal team believes there are issues that need to be raised in the trial court first, July the 9th is the date to watch for. So with this new legal team aboard, they could literally go back to the Roach and say, Roach, I need you to look at this. Before we take this up to the appellate court, we found some issues. Y'all need to take a look at this before, we have the appellate to jerk your chain, all right? Now, if they decide not to go back to the Roach, then they will go up to the appellate court, all right? It says, if no motion for a new trial is filed, the appellate records is generally due around August the 10th of 2026. That record will include the clerk's record and the reporter record. In plain English, that means the motion, the orders, the exhibits, the jury instructions, the transcripts from the court, all of it, even the 21 witnesses that lied on the stand, the objections and the lack of the damn injections, the testimony, the jury selection, and everything that happened during the trial. If a timely motion for a new trial is filed and denied, the appellate record deadline can move to around October the 7th, 2026. All right. Now, that's if Roach say, I ain't looking at this. It's done. He got 35 years and that's it. That's all. right? Then if that's the case, then the appellate record deadline moves to October the 7th of 2026. So the two big record dates are August the 10th, if there is no motion for new trial, and October the 7th, if there is a timely motion for new trial and Roach denies it, okay? Now, once the full appellate record is filed, the defense brief is usually due 30 days later. So in the faster timeline, if the record is filed by August the 10th of 2026, the defense brief could be due around September the 9th of 2026. If the slower timeline, in the slower timeline, if the record is filed around October the 7th, the defense brief could be due around November the 6th of 2026. All right. So it says, so after the defense filed its brief, the state gets time to respond. If the defense brief is due on September the 9th, the state response could be around October the 9th. So once the defense take it up to the appellate court, the state has 30 days to respond to the defense, and then the defense will have 30 days to turn around and respond back to the state. Is that what it is? Let me make sure I'm saying this right. Yeah, 30 days. The state gets 30 days to respond after the defense files its appellate brief. So notice of appeal, 30 days, and then 30 days. Okay, so the state gets 30 days, and then they turn around and get a defense 30 days as well, all right? So it says, then after they, respond, then now we're looking at, so December the 7th of 2026, possible state response deadline. So the state will have until December the 7th to respond. Now, January through May of 2027, possible oral arguments window if the Court of Appeals wants to hear from the lawyers. So if the court says, I want to hear y'all, I want y'all to come in here and argue this shit or whatever, or, explain what you're talking about, then that will take place through January through May of 2027. Then it says spring through late 2027, possible Court of Appeal decision window. So we're looking at anywhere from spring to late 2027 before we would even hear anything from the appellate court, y'all. Ooh, y'all, did y'all hear that? End of 2027. We may be looking into the end of 2027. Damn, that's crazy. I didn't think it would take that long. I knew it would be at least 6 months or so, but this looks like it could possibly be a year and a half. This is, is this 18 months? Let me see. Hold on. It says it's at least 160 days. Oh, my Jesus. Okay, so we're looking at about 18 months, you guys. So this is not going to be something fast. Now, they said the fast track is anywhere from 9 to 12 months, right? But the slow track is anywhere from 18 months. However, it says the more realistic timeline is 12 to 18 months. So a year to a year and a half. But the slow one is 18 months. So, but realistically, anywhere from 12 months to 18 months. But definitely not 6 months, 3 months, 4 months. So let's not get our, panties in a wad and think that Karmelo gonna be home for Christmas. Let's not even do that, all right? Unless Roach say grant a new trial. But we already know that's not going to happen. Why do we know that? Because that joker did a damn interview and he was asked, did the jurors get it right? And that joker said, yes, they did. They got it right. I believe they got it right. They followed everything, all the evidence and everything. They got it right. They did right. Yeah, okay. He wouldn't have even said they got it right. He didn't believe that himself because he would not have offered an opportunity for manslaughter or even a sudden passion if he felt like they got it right. So why even offer that? He could have just said, nope, I'm not offering that. It's either going to be guilty on first degree or not. So the fact that he offered manslaughter as an option and then he turned around and offered sudden passion and then gonna turn around and say the jury got it right, yeah, okay, whatever. So nevertheless, I don't believe that the Roach dude will, Judge Roach will allow for a new trial. I just do not believe he will do that at all, okay? Let me read some of y'all comments. She said, yes, that was one of the questions the other week and today when Dr. Candace Matthews was here. She said it would be a year or more if is normal timing. Yes. So anywhere from a year to 18 months, right? She said, sounds normal for an appeal. Unfortunately, yes. So for an appeal is not anything, you know, I think we look at other cases that we cover and we're like, well, wait a minute. They answer quickly. Yeah, you know, when someone is actually sitting in jail before they are convicted, then it's rushed through the appellate court. But if they already convicted, then it just goes normal time. They don't take no precedence or anything, okay? So unfortunately, Karmelo Anthony will have to sit anywhere from 12 months to a year before the appellate decision comes down, okay? Roach got on TV and said that was politically right for him to say, I don't believe he wanted Karmelo to get 35 years. I'm sorry, I just don't. Yeah, Kathleen, I believe he wanted to get Karmelo 35 years. And the reason why I say that, because listen, even attorney can object, right? If the other attorney is saying something wrong, but a judge can object as well. So that motherfucker wanted him to get 35 years because he could have actually said, no, the sentence is too harsh. A judge can intervene. He did not intervene, which means that he wanted him to get 35 years. When he was asking all of those witnesses, who do he think was the one that provoked this entire incident or the fight or whatever, the judge could have said, no, that's not allowed. Even if the dumbass defense attorney didn't object, the judge could have objected, and he did not. So he wanted him to get 35 years, in my opinion, Kathleen. So I know you have high hopes for this judge, but I don't. After this shit that he done pull, F him with everything, okay? If they got it right, why did they ask about manslaughter? Exactly, super Leo lady. That's exactly what I'm saying. If he felt like he got it right, he wouldn't have not even offered that. I mean, he offered it because the defense asked for it, but he would have said no. A judge has the right to say, no, I'm not allowing manslaughter. It's either going to be first degree or nothing at all. Texas allows the defense to choose. They chose the jury. The judge had no say. No, that's not true. Let me ask. Well, it says if the jury assessed 35 years, the judge does not usually get to just change it because he thinks it's harsh. As long as the sentence is within the legal range, the judge role is mostly to enter that sentence. The fight now would be post-trial motion of appeal, not the judge just waking up and reducing on his own. So the judge didn't have a say. So wait a minute. So they asked Karmelo family. Oh, you know what? Why did they do that? Why in the world? I would not let a jury that just found me guilty sentence me. Girl, are you kidding me? A jury of that is not my peers, if they found you guilty of first degree murder after someone put hands on you first, would you allow them to sentence you, to give you your punishment? Hell no. Hell no. I would not. I would have let the judge do it. Because you know what? I don't think the judge would have gave him 35 years. I don't, because the judge would have been scrutinized a whole lot. So I don't think the judge would have gave him 35 years. I would not have allowed that jury that just literally, found me guilty. I would not have allowed them to give me my damn punishment too. None of them had his best interest at all. None of them. So let me see. Who allows? At what point point in the trial does their sentence? I'm asking at what point? Is this something that they did prior or what? Oh, it said they had to make that choice before the jury selection starts. So they already knew, y'all. Oh. So they already allowed the jury to make the selection. They allowed the jury to decide their guilt and to choose their punishment. They did it before the jury selection even starts. Wow. So the jury already knew when they gave him first degree, they already knew that they was about to screw him dry. Dry. Okay, Amor, I have been saying this from the beginning since during polling that they all said they wouldn't find him guilty if he didn't take the stand. Wait a minute, what? Hold on, let me read what she said. She said, Amor, I have been saying this from the beginning since during polling, they all said that they wouldn't find him guilty if he didn't. You mean would find him guilty? Do you mean they would find him guilty if he didn't take the stand? You know, it was a question asked when the parents were on one of those bloggers' YouTube channel. She asked, why didn't Karmelo take the stand? And the mother said, we was advised that he did not. We were advised that he did not. Why in the hell would his parents, why in the hell would the lawyer advise him not to take the stand in a self-defense case? In my opinion, I feel that, especially when you were there and you have lying ass witnesses up there saying this happened and that happened and that happened. Baby, I'm taking a stand. I don't give a damn if I didn't want to take the stand up until the final minute. I'm going to take the stand and defend myself. Now, if I get locked up if I get found guilty after being able to say my part, I'm going to say my part. I'm not going to jail or spending those 35 years in prison, and I have not been able to say my part, So she said that they were advised that he did not take the stand. That's why I feel like that lawyer screwed him dry, raw, She said that's determined well before as well. I don't think so. And the reason why I say that, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to look it up. But I don't think it's determined before. And the reason why I say that is because Hunter was on the witness list and his ass was never, he was able to back out at the last minute. So this is what it says as far as, so it says the decision is made during the defense case, but the decision starts long before trial. The defense and Karmelo would have talked about whether he should testify before trial even started, because that is a major strategy decision. But the final decision usually happens after the state finished presenting its evidence. Here's how it works. The state presents its case first. They call the witnesses, introduce evidence, and try to prove guilt. After the state's rest, the defense decides what evidence they want to put on. That is the point where the defense has to decide, are we calling Karmelo to the stand or not? But the final choice belongs to Karmelo, not just his lawyers. His attorney can strongly advise him one way or the other, but a defendant has the constitutional rights to testify or not testify. So if Karmelo Anthony wanted to take the stand, that was ultimately his decision. If he chose not to testify, that also has to be his decision. The judge may do what is called a record inquiry or ask questions outside the jury's presence to make sure the defendant understands. I have a right to testify. I have a right not to testify. If I testify, the state can cross-examine me. If I do not testify, the jury cannot hold that against me. Oh, so, but I said, can he change his mind at the last minute? Yes, he could have changed his mind at the last minute up until the defense rested. The decision to testify belongs to Karmelo Anthony personally, not his lawyers. His attorney can advise him, warn him, and strongly recommend whether he should or should not take the stand, but the final choice is his, okay? However, I guarantee you he was a kid. He was a damn kid. He's going to do whatever his attorney advised him. If you are 19, if your attorney say, I wouldn't take the stand, your ass is not taking a stand. That's just point blank period. But I think that's anybody. I think anybody that's paying money to an attorney, they're going to listen and, take heed to the professional. He didn't know that man was trying to screw him royally. He didn't know that. They actually thought they had a good attorney. They thought that they was doing what was best. He probably told them that he could beat the case or whatever the case may be, He did a horrible ass job, But at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, it was just him and one other person. But I don't even know if that person said anything in court, but it was another attorney there, I heard. And I heard that attorney was good too. Somebody told me, Karmelo Anthony got a good team. Mike Howard good, and the co-attorney is good as well. Well, what the fuck happened? What happened? Now, if these attorneys can go in there and find errors, then we know for sure that the defense attorney screwed Karmelo Anthony and his family. If they're able to go in there and point out, this shouldn't have been allowed, that shouldn't have been allowed, this should have been ejected, this should have been ejected, this should have been taken and kept out of jury instructions, this should have been out of jury's instructions, this should have been included, that should have been included, this was violated, this was violated. If they're able to go in there with a fine-tooth comb and find the errors, then we know that Mike Howard and the other attorney did not do a good job. Why do we say that? Because they had damn near a year. This happened last April, y'all. This incident happened last April. He was hired almost immediately, right? Last April. He was hired before he was freed, before he got out. So they hired him within, 2 weeks? Probably less than. So with that being said, he did rely on his attorney to tell him the truth. And his attorney, in my opinion, screwed him royally. Screwed him royally, you guys. So where do we go from here? We wait. We wait for any other updates. We wait to see, what this team is made of. I mean, we know what they're made of, but what are they going to be able to find? I actually believe that even though it's 6 of them up here, they have staff, right? They are about to hire investigators and all kind of stuff. They are about to peel back the onion. Literally. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I am so happy for Karmelo Anthony. Unfortunately, he does have to sit down for a year, almost 2, a year and a half or whatnot. But, from what I'm hearing is his family said that he was doing well and had high spirits, okay? Now, I believe that he should be looking at colleges, playing ball, spending time with his girlfriend, still laughing and making TikTok videos and whatnot. However, unfortunately, he has to fight against the system. And that's what he's doing right now. He's fighting against the system. Make no mistakes about it. These attorneys right here is fighting against the system. They are fighting against a system. And that's why it takes a team. It don't take no one attorney. I believe the one that was assigned by the court would have failed him as well. And I'm not even going to say purposely failed him, but it takes a team. When you're fighting against a system, you need more than just one set of eyes. Literally, right? Because the state attorney, he still have other cases to work on. They're not just going to say, just do this case and that's it. That's your only caseload. That's all you have to do. No. He has to work on other stuff. But it sounds to me like these attorneys are actually going to get their team to work this case diligently. And then the thing about it is they know they got eyes on them. They know we watching. They know majority of, I ain't gonna say all, because y'all know we got some people that Harriet Tubman left behind on purpose, right? But of course, we have some people that's not for Karmelo, but majority of the Black Americans want to see something different because we know that a Black 19-year-old kid got railroaded by the system, by the damn system. Okay. So y'all, that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait. I'm going to give you guys updates as they come in. I'm going to be looking at this site, you guys, and that is I Stand With Karmelo. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. I think it's I Stand With Karmelo. Hold on. I think it's IStandWithKarmelo.com. So yeah, IStandWithKarmelo.com. I'm gonna be looking at that for updates, and the reason why I say that is because I don't think that the news are gonna give us much. I think majority of the news people are satisfied. I'm sorry, not I Stand. It's Stand With Karmelo. Stand With Karmelo. Is it Stand or I Stand? Hold on. What did I say, y'all? I don't see it right now. I think it's StandWithKarmelo.com. It's either Stand With Karmelo or I Stand With Karmelo. But nevertheless, she said, read my comment, please. Who said read my comment? Wait a minute. Is this your comment? I heard they asked he be released until then. Is that true? Oh, that's not, they're not going to do that. I don't think so. Let me look that up. But I don't believe that they can even ask that big. And the reason being because they can't release him until the appellate say that he was wrongfully convicted. So they're not going to be able to release somebody, Let me just make sure, because believe it or not, I do know somebody in Chicago that was released before they sentenced her to like 20 years or something like that. And she was released. Okay, so could Karmelo be released? Wow. Let's see, in the state of Texas. Okay, so no. Let me tell you how this works. Okay, so in the state of Texas, the fact that he got 35 years is what's stopping him from being released. It says Texas law says a defendant may not be released on bail pending approval from a felony conviction when the punishment equals or exceed 10 years confinement. So since Karmelo Anthony's sentence was 35 years, that is well over the 10-year cutoff. Okay, so if he was sentenced under 10 years, then he could be released on bond until the appellate came back with their decision. But unfortunately, because he was given 35 years, no, he has to actually stay there until the appellate gives their decision and grant him either a new trial. And even if he gets granted a new trial, he has to actually be bonded out, which means that they go all the way back to bond court and say that if he's a flight risk, danger to community, and all of that nonsense, and he would have to pay another bond amount to get out. And that's if they allow him a new trial. Okay? He would have to get bonded out again. So because they gave him such a large amount of years, the state of Texas says no. Now, I do know a case out of Chicago, Illinois, where she got 20 years and they let her out until the appeal reached their decision. Okay. And I actually think that she is getting a new trial, if I'm not mistaken. That's one of the girls that said that she called the police and warned them that this guy said that he was going to KI her. And they looked at it like, yeah, y'all just arguing. They came out to the house and, they left. But right before they left, she said, now listen, can I defend myself if this joker tries something with me or whatever? And they said, yeah, you could defend yourself. And she defended herself, and he tried something and she shot his ass or something like that. But anyway, I may go over that case one day. But nevertheless, she is out on release right now until, either new court or the appellate. But in this case, no, Karmelo Anthony, because he was given such a large amount of years. They did this shit on purpose. They did this shit on purpose. They gave him 35 years because they wanted to be hard as hell for him to be able to get out. And then they probably gave him 35 years knowing that they're going to appeal it, knowing that they're probably going to drop it down either to manslaughter or let him go altogether. And they want to be able to say, well, at least his ass spent some time, I think they do that sometimes. They know that this is an appealable case. They know they screwed up. Judges know when they screwed up, y'all. But they be thinking that people just gonna lay down and accept things. Same thing in the Romika Holly case. You remember I told y'all that the state thought because Holly lawyer was a black female and she's never tried a criminal case before, they thought she was gonna come half-stepping. And did she? Hell no. She ain't half-stepping at all. Not at all. She giving him a run for his money, So nevertheless, I think they think that black people just gonna sit on their hands and accept shit. You know what I'm saying? And they don't. And they absolutely don't. So I do believe that they probably felt like, this is an appealable case, but we want him to sit down for a while. So he's gonna sit a year or two. She said, I heard Roach stank ass is retiring. He said he is going to be gone in 6 months. In 6 months. However, I just looked it up and they said his ass, if assigned, can be brought back. Good Lord. She said, what is Key said? Let me see. She said, yeah, Justin, I don't agree with you. I won't read your comment, but we don't call people dumb over here because you get cussed the fuck out. Okay, we're not gonna call people dumb because I can clearly turn around and call your ass dumb. Okay, but I'm gonna entertain your comment. Justin Parrish. Let me be nice. Says, y'all are so dumb. Even if he gets an appeal and a new trial, he's playing with fire. He could easily end up with more time. Y'all keep forgetting they gave him 35 years. It could have been 99. I don't even believe that. If he is granted a new trial. But let me tell you how dumb you sound though. If he's granted a new trial, that's because they fucked up on the first one, okay? All right. So if he's granted a new trial, that means they did something wrong. And if they did something wrong, then that means 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be at his advantage, not disadvantage. Okay. Like they're gonna not be able to exclude black folk off the damn jury. Okay. And I don't know no black folk, especially women, that will send him uphill. Okay. Upstate. All right. So, but to your comment, he is correct. If they grant a new trial and he is convicted all over again, yes, he could get more than 35 years. Okay. He could get all the way up to 99 years. All right. She said 99 problems and getting more time ain't one. Okay. It says if he is granted a new trial, that usually means the appeal court found something legally wrong enough to matter. So in that sense, it can be to the defense's advantage. Okay. Now, it doesn't automatically mean that he will be found innocent, and it doesn't automatically mean that the case will be over. Okay. Best defense outcome: if the appellate court reverses and render an acquittal, that actually happens if the evidence was legally insufficient. That would be the strongest outcome because the state may not get another trial. So the appellate court can come back and say, no, he's acquitted. Nobody saw that damn video, and you rely on 21 liars, 21 people that changed their statement after they already told the police what happened, right? 21 liars, right? So if it's considered legally insufficient, yes, the appellate court could reverse it and he could be acquitted of this crime. However, more common defense when the appellate court will reverse it and remand for a new trial. That means the court found a serious legal error and sends the case back so it can be tried again without error. Texas prosecutor described reverse and remanded as the case being sent back to the trial court where it can be tried again, resolved by a plea deal or dismissed depending on the issue. So 9 times out of 10, they will offer him a plea or they'll just say, fuck this shit, we're not going through this again, all right? So yes, a new trial helps the defense because the original conviction will be no longer standing the same way the defense gets another chance. But it's still a risk because the state can retry him and new jury could convict him again. Generally, after a defendant successfully get a conviction set aside on appeal, the state may try again for the same offense unless the reversal is based on legal insufficiency of the evidence. All right. Now, one of the evidence, you guys, that knocked down his self-defense claim is provocation. The prosecutor was able to say that Karmelo Anthony provoked this, and you cannot claim self-defense if you are the provoker. All right. So if you're the one that did the agitated, instigated, if you're the one that started this shit, all right, if you are the one that is the agitator, you cannot claim self-defense. And the state was able to prove, I ain't gonna say prove, but able to convince the jury that Karmelo Anthony was the one that started it. However, I believe that the reason why they were able to convince that is one, that they asked all 21 plus 3 of the defense witnesses who started it, and they were able to say that Karmelo started it. Karmelo provoked it. He provoked it. He was provoked Austin. He provoked Austin. He provoked Austin. So if they get that thrown out, because he is not allowed to ask that. Let me prove to you guys. Was the prosecutor allowed to ask the witnesses who provoked the altercation and do they think that it was self-defense? Because that's what he asked. Who provoked it and do you think it was self-defense? And they said Karmelo provoked it and no, they do not think it was self-defense. So let's see what my little boyfriend got to say. Hold on. So because we don't have the transcripts, this is what it says. It says it depends on how it was asked, right? So if the prosecutor said something along the lines of, it says the prosecutor can ask witnesses what they saw, who touched who first, who moved toward who was yelling, who had their hands where, and what happened under the tent. But asking witnesses to decide whether it was self-defense is more controversial because it starts to sound like the witnesses is doing the jury's job. The jury is supposed to decide self-defense, not the witnesses. So whether that become an appeal issue depends on the exact wording, whether the defense objected and how the judge ruled. So this is what it says. It depends on exactly how the prosecutor asked and whether the defense objected, okay? In general, the prosecutor can ask witnesses what they saw and heard. Okay, that is considered factual testimony. But asking a witness who provoked the altercation, do you think it was self-defense? That is more questionable because that can sound like the witness is giving a legal conclusion. Exactly. In Texas, lay witnesses can give opinions only if the opinion is based on what they personally perceive and helpful to the jury. Texas Rule of Evidence 701 allows lay opinion testimony if it is rationally based on the witness perception and helped to understand testimony or deciding a fact issue. Texas Rule of Evidence 704 also says an opinion is not automatically objectable just because it touches the ultimate issue. But that does not mean every legal opinion question is allowed. Court can still keep out testimony that is unfairly prejudicial, confusing, or not helpful, or basically tell the jury what results to reach. So the clean answer is who started it probably would be allowed if the witness personally saw it. Who provoked it? Well, it may be allowed if the prosecutor meant, based on what you saw, who initiated the confrontation. But it can be objectable if provoked. If provoked is being used as a legal term tied to self-defense. So, do you think it was self-defense? This is more likely to draw an objection because self-defense is the legal issue for the jury to decide, not a witness. A witness can say what they saw, but the jury decides whether that fact equals self-defense or not. Now, from what I heard, let me just ask. From the report, did the prosecutor now this is from the notes from the different 9 news channels that was there. We're drawing what they said because, they took notes straight from the court. So it says, from the news report, I can find, yes, the issue of provocation and self-defense came up through witness testimony. It says, but I cannot confirm from the news alone that the prosecutors used the exact wordings, who provoked it, or do you think it was self-defense? From what the reports do show, CBS Texas reported that one witness said he believed the incident was not self-defense and said Karmelo Anthony provoked the stabbing. That is the closest report I found on what you are asking. CBS also reported that on cross-examination, a witness said Austin Metcalf approached Karmelo, placed both hands on his shoulder, and pushed him before Karmelo pulled the knife and stabbed him. Courthouse News report that the prosecution witnesses testified Karmelo cursed at and provoked and insulted the students after being asked to leave the tent. Let me tell you something. Just the fact that a witness said that, we're talking about a 17, 18, or 19-year-old witness. They don't even use words like that. Do you really think that a witness is going to get on stand and say that Karmelo Anthony cursed at them and provoked and insulted the students before he was asked to leave the tent or after being asked to leave the tent? If he used that word provoked, it was because his ass was coached, okay? It's no way a witness is going to get up on the stand and use, oh, he provoked him. Come on, let's talk about that for a second. Ain't no damn way. If he said that, if he got on that damn stand and said Karmelo Anthony provoked him or provoked him, you may say, oh, he teased him or he agitated him or he's just not going to use the word provoke, especially when the prosecutor is throwing that word around like crazy, right? So I just don't, these witnesses were fucking coached, okay, period, all right? But it says that a witness testified that Karmelo cursed at them, provoked, and insulted the students after being asked to leave the tent, okay? That was, it said that Karmelo said that you guys are a bunch of pussies. Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe that Karmelo Anthony said to the group of people that was there that you guys are a bunch of pussies? I swear, whoever witness that is, I hope he lose a whole foot. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't believe that Karmelo Anthony said you guys are a bunch of pussies. Because why would he? Why would you say you guys are a bunch of pussies in front of a bunch of people that could jump your ass? Nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. He pulled that shit out his backside, okay? It says that a witness, the same witness that said Karmelo cursed at them and provoked them, okay? Same one, said that Karmelo said before being asked to leave the tent. After being asked to leave the tent. You guys are a bunch of pussies. I'm not going nowhere. Make me. And what are you not going to, y'all not going to, oh, and he said, y'all are a bunch of pussies and y'all not going to do anything about it. and y'all ain't gonna do nothing about it. Come on. Do you really believe that Karmelo Anthony looked at a group of kids looking like fucking giants and shit, saying y'all are a bunch of pussies and y'all not gonna do nothing about it, and I ain't going nowhere and y'all ain't gonna do nothing about it? Come on. Come on. They allowed that in court. They literally allowed that lie in court. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. That young man cried and said, I told him not to put his hands on me, and he did. I believe that he told him, don't touch me. Touch me and see what happens. And let me tell you something. Do you know that this statement that y'all are a bunch of pussies and, you know, I'm not going anywhere and y'all not going to do nothing about it? Now, the I'm not going anywhere, and I don't even know if the no, I'm not going anywhere was mentioned in the police report, but make me, that was mentioned. But you guys are a bunch of pussies. Do you know of all the witnesses, none of that was in the police report? Do you not think they would have said something? He called us pussies. He said that we wasn't going to do anything about it. Come on. That shit was made up. It was made up, okay? Either it was made up or one of them damn adults told these students to say this bullshit, okay? You know? I believe they were talking smack to Karmelo, calling him names. Probably so. This is crazy. She said, I may have said something like that, but I don't believe he said that at all. You would have said y'all are a bunch of pussies. I don't know. Would you have said that if you had like 6 or 7 people standing over you, or 4 or 5, however many people they said? But nevertheless, I just, Anyway, he said my young guys say stuff like cornball. Yeah, you guys are a bunch of pussies. I just do not believe that. So anyway, but you know, all I got to say is, listen, let's just stand fast. Let this appellate court team that Karmelo Anthony now have behind him, let them do their work. We're going to let them do their work. Of course, we will report updates and things of that nature, but let them do their work. And I do believe that they would do a fine job. You know, because every case that's done, there's some error. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was intentional or unintentional, there's some error. So they will be able to find a loophole, I believe. You know, I believe they will be able to find a loophole. So with that said, let me just go back to one thing before we sign off. I just want to get the name of the website down again. StandWithKarmelo.com. So it's not I Stand With Karmelo, it's StandWithKarmelo.com. Let me drop the link for you guys, StandWithKarmelo.com. Here it goes right here, you guys. You could put this in your browser, save it as your favorite. StandWithKarmelo.com will be updating us on, you know, the process. I'm sure they'll probably put a timeline and whatnot of where we can get documents from. This ain't gonna be no gag order type trial. No, they ain't keeping no secrets this time. See, the judge ordered a gag order because he wanted secrets, right? He wanted us to not know what was going on. Baby, we all in now. We all gas is what they say. We all gas. So listen, it ain't no more hiding no more, all right? So we're definitely going to find out. And I think the mom and the dad, they got enough of that not talking and just, you know, just being quiet and not saying anything. They have a right, y'all. That's our First Amendment right. They have a right to speak. They have a right to speak, okay? They have a right to speak. So nevertheless, you guys have been amazing. I do appreciate you guys coming up, showing out, and supporting this live stream. This was breaking news because it was released today. I am honored to, you know, and I feel so good to be able to cover this, especially saying that he has a new legal team. I'm glad that they're doing it pro bono, not giving the family any pressure. And baby, listen, I think they're going to take it on full speed ahead. So I am definitely happy about this. This warms my heart, makes me feel so much better than what I was feeling, because I literally thought that they just threw this little, you know, this young fella's life away. but I do believe he has a chance. So y'all know over here we celebrate goals. When we set goals and we make goals, what do? We celebrate our goals over here. So we will be celebrating the goal met. I do appreciate you guys for helping me meet the goal. Here we go, you guys. Thanks so very much.
Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now. Go Met, yeah, it's up now. Big super chest, hit up, cash sound, screen say go. That's facts now. Run it up right now.
Thank y'all so very, very, very much. I do appreciate you guys for pointing to this live stream. I do. Let me see last minute comments. She said, thank you, beautiful. God bless you. Thank you so much, Thomas. Listen, if you are new to this channel, can you please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel? We will be covering this case and others, honey. We cover a lot of cases. We break them down. And, if I get a chance, I do go to the court in person. I was out there, but y'all know they only let 27 people in the building. So I was in the parking lot, working the parking lot, you guys. I got a lot of great interviews. However, hopefully this next court, once they turn this over, unless they're going to acquit him, altogether. But I will be in the courtroom, honey, because listen, hopefully they get it out of McKinney with them little ass courtrooms or whatever, and they get it into Dallas or, another area. All right. He was protecting himself from a bullies, him and his big ass, clumsy looking brother. I was bullied in high school for being part of the Ukrainian and Polish in Afghanistan. They bullied always get away. The bullies always get away with being mean. Exactly. Well, they always get away until they are pushing up flowers. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, unfortunately, that happens. The bullies sometimes end up on people t-shirts, and balloons and shit. And people be crying and hollering, justice, justice, justice. Well, if you talk to the person to keep their damn hands to themselves, then they wouldn't, they wouldn't have a damn justice for in front of their damn name. He was protecting himself from a bully. Exactly. 2 bullies. Not been singing the song word from word. Are you singing the song word from word? So hit that thumbs up. We will be covering this case all the way to the end. We will. Candy says, go Met, Loud Talkers. Thank you for showing up and showing out. Your support, super chats, likes, and shares mean the world. We wouldn't have done this without this amazing community. Yes, I do appreciate you guys so very much. Okay. Now I do want to answer this one last question because I see that he said it twice. He says, what eras do you think occurred? I want you to go back because I mentioned quite a few of them. I mean, I know I had to mention, what do y'all say, Loud Talkers? At least 4 or 5 of them, from the jury selection down to asking them questions that shouldn't have been asked, down to not putting Hunter Line-ass on the stand because Hunter said that Austin grabbed his book bag, snatched his book bag, grabbed, snatched, took. And the daddy even said it too. So 3 times it was admitted that his book bag was taken, and that was not a factor in this case. So theft of property is a thing. You have a right to defend your property. And his own brother said that Austin grabbed his book bag. So that was not in the court, which needs to be in there. So excluding information that could possibly, help his self-defense. And to me, that's big. That's really big. I literally thought that was going to be in there. So anyway, I went over at least 5 or 6 maybe different eras that I think, and I'm not even an attorney. So with this team, I am sure they're going to probably have 5 or 6 pages of eras. But I was only able to just mention the ones on the top. Okay. I'm sure they're going to break it all the way down. Shit that we don't even know was an error. Probably one of the jurors probably was chewing bubble gum. Who knows? They're going to find out all the errors that was made in court. Okay. Whether that picture that's going around, which I don't know if it's true or not, that the daddy is having like a backyard barbecue with all the witnesses. They may look into these phones and find out that they had some type of coordinating barbecues before this happened, so they would know what to say on the stand. Okay. So, however, like I said, I trust and believe this 20, 30, and 40-year team right here, they all together, they probably have over 200, 300, 400 years of experience and whatnot. One guy got 40 by himself. So they're going to bring out all the errors. Trust me, there's errors in every court. I just don't think that they're, enough to, write home to Santa, right? But at the same time, they will find errors that that the appellate court will have to address. Okay. And then he said he tried to handle the problem like, boy, what the fuck out of here? Get the fuck out. Exactly. He did say Austin tried to handle the problem. And to me, you want to know another thing that we haven't mentioned, and we'll talk about this on another live. The fact that the cheerleaders have come out and said, there's a letter, email floating around where the cheerleaders said that the brothers were bullies and that they were scared of the brothers. I think that should come into play as well. You know what I'm saying? I believe that should come into play as well. Okay? Because you might find a lot more people that come forward and just really tell the truth. That these brothers thought that they was biggity bad because they fucking look alike when they looked at each other or whatever. And, they thought that they were all that in a bag of damn Doritos. And now one is missing. Because, I don't know if y'all heard this saying when y'all were coming up, but I heard it. They said, my parents used to say, don't think you bad. Don't be out there acting like you bad, because bad people are either in jail or in the damn ground. Have y'all ever heard of that? People that think they bad, tough folks. You think you bad. Oh, you think you bad. Okay, bad people are either in jail or prison, should I say, or in the ground, one or the other. All right? One or the other. So nevertheless, thank y'all so very much. Y'all hit that thumbs up button on the way out, and subscribe to this channel for more information on the Karmelo Anthony case and other cases that I will be breaking down and covering over here. All right. Thank y'all so very much. Talk to y'all soon. Bye now.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Yay!
She kept talking about that family.
Hoes over there.
She kept talking about that family. 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 That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers don't be wanting to listen about. Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Talking about it. That family. That family. Samora.